So, you know how you look at a mock draft and sometimes you think to yourself, what is this person smoking? Or at the very least, what are they thinking? Or what are they seeing that you're not seeing? Um, it's early. It's only week 5 of the NFL season. But of course, mocks are coming out. I wanted to delve into one mock and just give my opinion on it because I've seen some terrible ones. I stumbled on Walter Football, which of course I like. It's great for research, and I love his opinions and I value them. But I started reading this mock and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's an early mock. But then I saw updated October 15th, which was yesterday. And as I'm looking at going through the picks, by the fifth pick, I'm like, really? So I wanted to go through his mock and just give my opinion of it. First pick, Jets taking Trevor Lawrence. That's not shocking. He has the Falcons picking second. I don't think they'll pick second because they still have too much offense to finish with the second overall pick. He has them taking Justin Fields. Uh, Credit to the Falcons if they can draft Justin Fields. He has the Giants picking third. Here's the problem. He has them taking Jamar Chase. And going into this season, if you had said the Giants take Jamar Chase with their first pick, I would have agreed. I think my first mock before the season started had the Giants taking Jamar Chase. The problem is it's obvious after the first 5 weeks of the NFL season that the Giants cannot take an offensive weapon without finally fixing the offensive line. I have a 1987 Cadillac Brougham parked outside in downtown LA. I might have to sell it because I can't protect it. And if you can't protect it, you can't have nice, shiny things. So we cannot take Jamar Chase with the third pick overall. He has Penei Sewell going to the Chargers with the next pick. That's obviously what the Giants. I mean, there's no way the Giants would pass on him. But if the Chargers can get him, that would be fantastic for them. I also don't think they'll pick fourth because Justin Herbert they're losing games by one score and they're very close games. So Justin Herbert will lead them to several victories. Fifth overall, he has the Redskins taking Sam Cosmi, left tackle out of Texas. I had him as a first rounder early on. I dropped him out of the first round, I think, in my last mock because it's just not looking like he's standing out or doing everything. And Mr. Walter Football even comments, Sam Cosmi is very athletic, but is considered raw at the moment. Then how do you have him as the fifth overall pick if he's that raw? You can't take a chance like that with the fifth overall pick. And there's fantastic tackles coming out in this draft, like Alex Leatherwood from Alabama. So you definitely take him over Sam Cosmi. Sixth overall, the Jaguars taking Carlos Basham. Love Carlos Basham. They need to replace Yannick Ngakoue. That would not be a bad pick. Seventh overall, the Vikings taking Christian Barmore, defensive end, defensive tackle, defensive lineman from Alabama. I have such a problem with that. I think that's pretty high, seventh overall, but they haven't played much. Just let them play some more. Eighth overall, the Dolphins getting Gregory Rousseau. If they can get him with the eighth overall pick, that would be amazing. I think he's the best defensive end of the draft still, even though he's opted out. The Lions, ninth overall, taking Andre Cisco, safety out of Syracuse. A lot of people are talking about him. I haven't quite seen it yet to put him in the first round, let alone the ninth overall pick. 10th, Denver taking Alex Leatherwood, arguably the best tackle in the draft next to Penei Sewell. No fault there, getting him 10th overall. Eagles taking Patrick Surtain, cornerback, Alabama, the 11th pick. I still think they need to fix their offensive line just because of the injuries. Surtain, I would not take him as the first cornerback, even though he's very impressive. I would take Sean Wade. But 12th overall, Bengals taking Jalen Mayfield, tackle from Michigan. No problem there, even though I'm really looking forward to seeing Michigan play. They have a lot of players that could go very early in the draft. I just really, really want to see them play this year. Dolphins with another pick at 13, taking Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. That's fine. I think that's kind of the area Parsons will go. The 49ers picking 14th overall just because their team got destroyed with injuries. That's fine. Taking Sean Wade, no problem there. They're killed with injuries to their secondary, especially the cornerbacks. They're going like third and fourth in depth, so they have to. Patriots picking 15th overall, taking Jalen Waddle. I don't have a problem with this because they need a weapon. Cam Newton is for real. They still have that defense. No problem there. 16th overall, the Panthers taking Kyle Pitts. I would have had a problem with this maybe 2 weeks ago, but it looks like Teddy Bridgewater can hang in there and really perform the way they need him to. And having a weapon like Kyle Pitts would be amazing because Bridgewater is getting the ball to all of those receivers, and they're putting up great numbers. Let's go. Okay, now he separated it. Where's his next? Hold on. Let me just find the rest of his picks. 1732. Click. 17th overall, Buccaneers taking Marvin Wilson, defensive lineman from Florida State. I was big on him going into the season. He's not really showing up, so I don't even know if he'll go mid first round. He might be a second rounder because Florida State isn't looking good. And he's got the talent. He hasn't been showing it the first 5 weeks. 18 overall, the Colts taking Kyle Trask. I do not have a problem with this. They do need a quarterback. Wouldn't surprise me if they got Sam Darnold. 19 overall, the Cowboys taking Joe Tryon, the defensive end from Washington. Don't necessarily have a problem with that either. Saints picking 20th, taking Paris Ford out of Pittsburgh. Admittedly, I have not gotten a good look at Paris Ford. A lot of analysts have several players from Pittsburgh, so I'm going to have to watch them. 21 overall, Raiders taking Dylan Moses. That's fantastic. 22 Cardinals taking Paulson Adebo, cornerback Stanford. He opted out, so I don't know if he's going to be in the first round, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was. That's probably a good spot for him, late first round. Walter Football has the Chiefs picking 23rd overall and has them taking Jay Tufele, the defensive tackle from USC. I've had them taking him with their last pick in the draft after winning the Super Bowl, so that's fine. 24th overall, the Ravens taking Devontae Smith. This is a problem because they don't need wide receivers. They need to get the ball to the wide receivers. It has nothing to do with the wide receivers. They have a lot of young talent at wide receivers. I just wouldn't go with that position. Might as well just beef up the offensive line. 25th overall, the Bears taking Trey Lance. Would not surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if they got Sam Darnold. I think Darnold either has to go to the Bears, Colts, or Saints. But the Bears taking Trey Lance, it's worth a shot. Why not? Because they're actually probably a quarterback away from being really competitive. The Browns picking 26th overall. Taking that wide receiver from Ohio State, Chris Olave. No. This is the comment that Walter Football has. Has a good mix of size, speed, whatever. Big playmaker. Oh, this is what it is. Odell Beckham could be shipped off if he continues to cause trouble. He hasn't caused trouble in years, so just shut up. Wouldn't surprise me if they traded him. I wish they would trade him to a better team. Jacksonville picking 27th overall. That's probably there must be a trade scenario. Them take Walker Little from Stanford, offensive tackle. That's fine, especially at that spot. 28th overall, the Bills taking Wyatt Davis, guard from Ohio State. That's fantastic. 29 overall, the Packers taking Tamorrion Terry, the wide receiver out of Florida. Rondale Moore is still there, and Tylan Wallace, and Terry is not having a great year because Florida State isn't having a great year. So that's kind of surprising. Steelers picking 30th, taking Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech. Steelers don't need anything, so pretty much anything they pick will be cake. So that is fine. Titans picking next, 31st overall. Way to go, Walter. Taking LeBron Ray, defensive tackle from Alabama. Need to see him play more. I think my very first preseason mock, very early mock, had Ray in the first round. And 32nd overall, this is the Seahawks pick that they traded to the Jets for Jamal Adams. Walter Football has them taking Travis Etienne. And this goes back to my Cadillac Brome analogy, where you can't have nice, shiny things unless you can protect it, and they're not suited, or they're not ready to put a star running back behind that offensive line. So I would disagree with that. But while we are here, let's look at his second round mock because he has it right here. Second round, Falcons having that pick. Tyson Campbell, cornerback, Georgia. I don't have a problem with that. I probably should have had him in my 2-round mock. The Giants picking next. Josh Jobe, cornerback, Alabama. I mean, Walter Football doesn't have him taking an offensive lineman yet, and that's just not going to happen. Definitely have a needed center, and Creed Humphrey hasn't been taken here. Trey Hill hasn't been taken here. So we're not going to use that pick on Josh Jobe, and we actually have quite a bit of depth. I have insights that Walter Football does not have. We're okay in the secondary. One of the best pass defenders in the league right now. Jets picking next. Javon Holland, safety, Oregon. That's okay. He opted out this year, so I'm not too passionate about him at safety. They do need a safety, obviously. They need quite a bit, which is why they cannot take Travis Etienne. Next pick, 36 overall, the Washington football team taking Brevin Jordan, tight end, Miami. I feel like that would be a big luxury for them to be able to draft him. One of the best tight ends in college, especially yards after catch. 37 overall, Jaguars taking Nick Bolton, linebacker, Missouri. He just hasn't shown up this year, so I don't know. I'm still waiting for him to really show up. The Jaguars have the next pick. It must have been a trade scenario. I'll have to research when I do my next mock. Kerry Vincent, cornerback, LSU. Don't have a problem with this pick either. 39 overall, Dolphins taking Najee Harris. Be fantastic. I have Etienne and Najee both as the 1 and 2, both going in the second round, and Walter essentially has him in the second round. He put Etienne at the end of the first. 40 overall, the Chargers taking Trey Hill, Georgia, the center. They would be extremely lucky. Walter he must be a Chargers fan because he has the Chargers using their first 2 picks on stud offensive linemen. That's what the Giants need to do. Actually, I'm taking his picks, Penei Sewell and Trey Hill. Those need to be the Giants' picks. Next, 41 overall, Broncos taking Merlin Robertson, linebacker, Arizona State. I just don't know who that is. 42 overall, the Lions taking Kwity Paye, defensive lineman for Michigan. I'm not familiar with him. Need to see Michigan play. Bengals picking 43rd overall, Patrick Jones, defensive end, Pittsburgh. It's another player that a lot of people are talking about. I'm just not too familiar with him. Going to have to start watching Pittsburgh. Eagles, 44 overall, taking Deontay Brown, guard, Alabama, absolutely. 45 overall, the Niners taking Alec Lindstrom, center from Boston College. I have them taking Alec Lindstrom in the second round in my mock. They definitely need a center. Dolphins picking next, taking Quincy Roche, defensive end from Miami. Potential first rounder, Quincy Roche, big on him. He's really stepped in for Gregory Rousseau. 47 overall, the Patriots taking Marquise Stevenson, wide receiver, Houston. I'm not familiar with. Definitely going to say no on that because there's so much talent available at wide receiver, especially with Rondale Moore not taken here or Tylan Wallace. Next pick, 48 overall, Jackson Carman going to the Buccaneers. He's a guard from Clemson. Great pick. He's probably will not make it out of the second round, so yes. Colts picking next, Hamza Nasir-Eldin, safety from Florida State. I'm very big on him, even though Florida State sucks. 50 overall, Panthers taking Ardarius Washington, safety, TCU. Big on him. Cowboys taking Dimitri Moore, linebacker from Vanderbilt. Just not familiar with him. 52 overall, Vegas Raiders taking Israel Mukuamu, cornerback, South Carolina. Absolutely. I think he'll go earlier than that. Now the Cardinals picking next, Seth Williams, wide receiver, Auburn. I would take him over the last 2 wide receivers that were taken, that's for sure. He's a big dude. I don't want to compare him to DK Metcalf because he's not as muscular, but he's got very good size. Chase Claypool, maybe. See some of that in Seth Williams. 54 overall, the Saints taking Amon-Ra St. Brown. Absolutely, I would take him over those last few wide receivers. Just need to see USC play. Baltimore picking next. Thomas Booker, defensive end, Stanford. Not too familiar with him, so makes a little sense. I mean, I've heard of him, just haven't seen him play much. Then next, the Chiefs picking Cade Mays, tackle from Tennessee. I am huge on Cade Mays. Wouldn't be surprised if he went in the first round. Next, the Browns picking Aiden Hutchinson, defensive end, Michigan. Heard a lot about him. Just haven't seen Michigan play this year. Next, the Rams taking Liam Eichenberg, who I put in my draft last week. I have him also going to the Rams to replace Andrew Whitworth. So yes, great pick. Now, the Bills taking Rondale Moore, who opted back into the season. And once he actually gets to play, I think he's going to blow people away. It might be the first or second wide receiver off the board. I mean, Jamar Chase is pretty much guaranteed to be the first one off the board. But if Rondale Moore actually gets to play, he's probably going to be the next one. Bears picking next. Kenny Gainwell, running back Memphis. He looks great. I just personally have a hard time taking running backs early after getting burned by Saquon. Not that he did anything. My Giants did it to him. Because if you're not prepared, if you're not set up for a running back to succeed, doesn't matter how good they are. This kid is very good. His name is Gainwell. That's great for a running back. And the Bears could use an explosive running back. Steelers taking Trey Smith, the offensive tackle / guard from Tennessee. Wouldn't be surprised if he went in the first round. So that is fine. Packers picking next. Tadaro Slayton, a.k.a. T.J. Slayton, nose tackle, Florida Gators. I think he's going to be fantastic. And when all is said and done, I think he's going to go higher than that. He might slip into the first round. The Titans picking next. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver at Minnesota. A lot of people talked about him in the first round. And I would definitely take him over the other wide receivers that were mentioned. And last, to end the second round, the Seahawks taking Mustafa Johnson, defensive tackle, Colorado. I just haven't seen him play much, but he's definitely up there. Just an interesting mock draft. I will continue mine. I'm doing mine every 2 weeks after the college games and the NFL games. So I will have my mock 4.0 coming out in a few days, probably by Tuesday. See you then.